The book I chose is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It is about a 16-year-old black girl named Star who was riding around with her best friend named Khalil, and he gets murdered by a cop because they got pulled over, and the cop thought Khalil was reaching for a gun, but he was just reaching for a hairbrush, and the cop shot him. This led to Star to find her voice and to also become an activist. Angie was inspired to write this book in 2010, right after the Oscar Grant case happened, and Oscar was a black man as well who also got killed by a white police officer, and Angie wondered if this happened in her community, how would they react and what would they do? So she wanted a way to find hope, and that is why she made this book. The title of the book is about a rapper named Tupac. He has a tattoo on his stomach that says Thug Life. And as you can see, Thug spells thug, and it's the hate you give. And then life stands for little infants fucks everybody. So the hate you give little infants fucks everybody. I think that is a really great idea and a really good title because it is true that the hate you put in the world will have a long-lasting effect on the generation after you. And it could, like we've seen it since now. There's been this cycle of discrimination, police brutality, racism, and it just keeps going. So I think this book is really relevant for today as well because we've seen a lot more police brutality and discrimination, like the George Floyd case, and it's a good example how to use your voice and how to make a positive change. In this book, Star releases that she is the one who was with Khalil in the car, and she wants to start standing up for what happened and start making a change. So after she said that, riots started happening. In chapter 9, page 154, it states, Star is the narrator, she states, "I knew I did something wrong, but one of the nurses took my hand. Mama grabs my hand again, looked me in my eyes, and said, 'Sometimes you can do everything right, and things will still go wrong. The key is to never stop doing right.'" And I think that is a great message and a theme of the book because you have to keep doing right. Even if you do right and things go wrong, you have to keep going because that's how change happens. Another quote I chose for this is in chapter 24 on page 412. Star stands on top of a car with during one of the riots, and the police officers are trying to hold everybody back. And she said, "Everybody wants to talk about how Khalil died, but this isn't about how Khalil died. It's about the fact that he lived. His life mattered. Khalil lived. I looked at the cops again. You hear me? Khalil lived." I think that is very powerful because just like today, we were making riots for George Floyd, and we weren't focused on his death as much as his life. You took away the man's life. And I think that was a great message and a great theme also in the book. This book has a big impact on me, as I'm sure it does on many people, because it gives them a sense of hope. Star shows the importance throughout the book of what the world could look like with a positive change. And that's why I chose this book, because I think it has a great message.